everybody, the Brickologist here with another throwback LEGO Star Wars set review. Today we're going back to the winter of 2009 to take a closer look at set number 8018, Armored Assault Tank AAT. This set used to retail for about $50 here in the US. Adjusted for inflation, that price is closer to $75 in 2024 money. It contains 407 pieces, and here is a front look at your box with that classic Clone Wars box art style. The back of the box showcases some of the play features this set contains and advertisements for a few other sets from this wave. Included with this set is one instruction manual of 57 pages of building. At the back there is an advertisement for the Vader's TIE Advance set from that year, which was part of the 10 years of LEGO Star Wars collection. Kind of crazy because we're on the 25 years of LEGO Star Wars collection this year. There's also this dope looking poster for some Clone Wars sets, and speaking of Clone Wars sets, here are the other ones from this winter wave in 2009, including the iconic 8014 Clone Trooper Battle Pack. 407 pieces later, the set is now complete. You only get the one single build, but you also get 7 minifigures. Let's look at those characters here first. Or should I say character, because there is only one named character in this set, and that is of course Yoda, making his Clone Wars style debut. Obviously Yoda figures existed before this, but this figure featured a brand new head mold and kind of a weird rubbery plastic for his stylized variation from the Clone Wars TV show and movie. And I've never been a huge fan of the way Clone Wars Yoda looked. However, LEGO did nail it with this head mold. It looks pretty spot on. Unfortunately, the rubbery material has not aged super well, and the printing from the back for his hair has kind of chipped over time. That does not look very good. The rest of the figure looks great, good torso print, old color green lightsaber looks solid, so a good Yoda figure, but not exclusive anymore, and not one of my favorite variations of the character. What might be my favorite variation of the character here are the Super Battle Droids with the rocket blaster arm. I love that mold. It looks spectacular, and that was brand new and exclusive to this set back in 2009. They did eventually come in the 2011 Battle Geonosis set, which I did review last year, but other than that, they look great, and you get 3 of them, which is great for army building. Speaking of battle droids, you get 2 normal battle droids with their normal arms. These guys are both piloting parts of the AAT that we'll look at later in this video. And finally, you get 1 generic clone trooper. Never a bad thing to get in any LEGO Star Wars set. He has, of course, the crazy, ugly looking clone face from back in the day, and some good back printing as well. With the minifigures out of the way, it's now time to switch up gears and focus on the AAT itself. This is one of only 2 versions of this particular variation of the AAT, the one that's in the dark gray, dark blue, and blue color scheme. The other version came out in 2020, and even though that one is 11 years older than this one completely blows it out of the water. In fact, I think this is the best AAT LEGO has ever done, even better than the iconic 2000 version based off the Phantom Menace. Let's explain why with all the nitty-gritty details. First off, the flying saucer-esque pieces just work perfectly for the shaping of this vehicle, and it has a very wide stance, which really helps elevate the design. Now, there are a lot of sticker decals right here, and here, and unfortunately mine have kind of worn off over the years, but they look very good and add lots of detail to the build. The transition from the lower area to this kind of middle section is also incredibly smooth. The shaping is great, and there are very few exposed studs, especially for 2009. I love the use of this part, which was relatively new back in the day. This was also angled very well, and this looks good too with a big sticker up front. Now, this gives us our first main play feature with this set. You have to move the cannon a little bit out of the way, but once it is, you can lift this up to reveal the small interior. However, there is a better way to access that we'll talk about in just a minute. Before we do that though, we can look at the side cannons here that actually have almost 360 degree degrees rotation with them, there is a very nice amount of posability there, which I like. And they also have a firing function. As was the norm back in 2009, of course, it's going to be a flick fire missile. You guys know how those work. You basically just flick on it and it works out pretty well. However, the flick missiles themselves are also the cannon. So if you flick off said missile, you no longer have a cannon. LEGO has done this from time to time and it's always irked me. I wish they would keep the two separate. Making our way towards the back here, the shaping looks good from pretty much every angle. It's actually quite impressive, and at the back, that is actually the better place to access the interior I was just alluding to. The overhang of the design casts a pretty big shadow, so it's kind of hard to see, but I'll do my best to show you all. Basically, if you pull on this little piece right here, you can actually pull out an entire vehicle for a battle droid. This becomes its own little separate speeder, and it's nothing crazy in terms of design. I'm also not entirely sure it's canonical, but it adds a lot of play value. Additionally, it can store a couple more battle droids at the back, which is really fun. And the vehicle very easily slides back into place, clips in, and once you fold it up, you'd have absolutely no idea it was even there. The designers cooked with this function. Finally, we have the main cannon of the AAT, which was a big talking point as a negative for the 2020 version. However, this 2009 version is proportioned very well and functions effortlessly. Firstly, it has all the movement you could want. It goes from side to side, but has stoppers on either side to prevent it from spinning out of control. And of course, you can raise and lower the main cannon itself, so the posability here is really well done. Secondly, it holds a droid pretty effectively. Basically, you can open up the cockpit right here and simply put a battle droid inside, and it looks fairly solid. Now, to close it up, you have to basically lower their head, and it will close on top of them. Not the greatest thing in the world, but it gets the job done. My main issue here is I feel towards the back, some of the designs seem a bit unfinished, and I think they could have used a few more tile pieces to kind of round off the smoothness. So there you have it, y'all, the 2009 Armored Assault Tank, which I think is the best version of this vehicle LEGO has ever created. There really isn't much else to say about this set, so let's talk about the prices from third-party markets, because of course it is 15 years old. If you want to buy this set new in a sealed box, you're probably going to have to pay around $200, 4 times the original retail price. However, if you're comfortable going used, it's around 80 to 100 bucks, and I would definitely go that route as long as the stickers are in a somewhat decent condition. Also, this is a set that I would actually recommend buying without the minifigures to lower your cost. I know that sounds insane, but all of these figures have come in other sets since. Now, Yoda and the Super Battle Droids were exclusive when this set debuted in 2009, but they eventually came in other sets, and they're not super valuable. So if you're not completely attached to the figures and don't need the set to be 100% complete, get it without the figures and you'll probably save yourself about half the cost. Overall though, if you spent $50 on this set when it came out back in the day, if you spent $200 on this set right now on eBay to get it sealed, you're going to be satisfied with the build. It's that dang good, and that's why it's going to get a really solid rating of a 9 out of 10 from me. I love this thing and I only wish I had more. Thank you so much for watching today's review. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out. God bless. Bye-bye.